Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on Angela Whispering Hollow. This is by Mrtbone39 and Shantyboys. 28.21 megabytes download. Yes, you heard that correctly. 28.21 megabytes download. No required mods. There are no custom crops, contracts are available, and there are no required, nothing in build mode, because there's no required mods anyway, and there's nothing in addition. So there's nothing in build mode. All the usual build mode stuff is in build mode, just nothing over and above in the build mode. How do I start this off? It says in the description, Angela Whispering Hollow is dedicated to the memory of my sister. I don't know, I assume that's Mrtbone39. But anyway, that all being said, this is a straightforward... Oh, every time, there we go. This is a straightforward, no-nonsense map. Nice sweeping terrain. It's all basic game stuff. But there's a huge amount of scope on this map for creation of whatever you want. So for landscaping, for adding in productions, for basically building the map, you know, however you want to do it. If you want to come on and play it as it is, you can. There are a few things on here I'm not personally a big fan of. That's just me. I'm going to put that out there now, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. There are 25 collectibles. I say that now. Let's have a look at the map. So this is the map. We go across to our farmland, owned at the start on New Farmer. We own this section here, and there are 4 segments, I guess, to the map. All of these fields are available for purchase around here, but the verges, the periphery, the bits in between are available to purchase as well in segments, and this is the downside. This is the bit I'm not a big fan of. Down in this section here, we've got some woodland here. There's a placeables area. Well, we'll go airborne and have a look down there. In this corner, there's another farm, which we're going to look at in a little while. And then in this corner, there's a farm. And there's also, we've got biogas plant there, and we've got a sawmill there. If we come down to this section here, where it usually says owned large mushroom greenhouse, that's at the start farm. And then available on the map, we've got these things here. But that's not all of it, which is curious. Because we've also got, if we come back to the map, sorry, down here we've got 3 plots, which when you purchase them, the icons come up for the factories that are there, which at the moment aren't showing. And the field prices are pretty good. 435 grand, 400,000. We've got a load of small ones here, so if you want to get started, get cracking straight away, they're not expensive, so you can get a few fields under your belt, maybe do a bit of clearing of trees, maybe make a bigger field. It's entirely up to you. But the problem is with doing that, you have to buy the verges. That one, plot 89, 791,532. It gets you a lot of land, that placeables area and that bit of woodland. Personally, I would have preferred it if that was broken up. The woodland was separate. The bit of land, placeables land, maybe was separate. The same with this plot here. To get this farm just there, which I personally would have preferred to have been separate, if we click on that, 673,488. And again, people might say, well, that's not bad for a farm, and then you get all of that land on top. I suppose that's the other way of looking at it. You're paying that much for the farm, and you get all of this as a bonus, I suppose. It's just a lot of money, I guess. And then this one up here, 87, 664,536. Now, I'm not sure if I've got enough money to buy all of this to start off with, but what we're going to do is, I'll show you. There, 43 grand. Buy that. That one there, 31, 560. That one there, 41, 120. And what we'll probably do is, we'll go down to this one first, and then that should give me an option to do something else. We'll buy this little bit of land here. And then what we'll do, if I can afford it, that plot of land there was 215. Yes, we can do that. I'm just trying to work out if we can get it all in. Now this little plot here is separate. And that shows, where is it showing? There we go. That's plot 97. 99. We might have enough actually. I don't know. We might be just out. Buy that. 620. I don't think we've got quite enough, have we? 664. Not quite to buy that. This section up here, but that's fine, we'll get around. This section can also be purchased, which is nice. So buy that, that gets you the roadways, gets you this section where the vehicle workshop is, and it gets you all this section here. There's a load of houses and bits and bobs. So the scope, like I say, the scope for customization, for making it your own, for adding in decorative items, productions, sell points, whatever it is all there. And that's cool. That's a very, very cool feature of the map. I like it. So anyway, that's the map overview. So we start here at the vehicle workshop and vehicle store. Vehicle store is there. Vehicle workshop trigger is just over there. And this is the reset point for the map as well. I'm going to grab myself a pickup, and we can whiz around in a pickup and take in everything else. So bear with me 1 second while I grab that. So let's go. Notice, not an electric car. I'm trying to listen to feedback and, you know, change things that need to be changed. It wasn't something that bothered me, but it bothered a lot of other people, so I thought, you know what, we can do that. It's a small thing, a small adjustment. Now, something else to be aware of. See where all these lovely flowers are? There are ditches. Beware of the ditches, people. If you're going to take a shortcut, there's only so many times your pickup can roll before you start getting skull fractures, you know, that kind of thing. True that. Right. In here. Animal dealer. There's no NPCs in the map. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say later on. We'll see that when we get there on. So, animal dealer. Animal dealer sell point just here. We've got round the back. Well, so this is all, it's all standard base game stuff on the map. So, you know, it's going to seem very recognisable because it is. It's all the base game stuff. Manure point and slurry point. Around the back. Got to be careful. Squeezing through. There we go. Across the way. We've got the warehouse for purchase of pallets and the warehouse sell point. That's just over there. With the warehouse purchase point round the back that side, and then round the other side, round over. I tend to do this quite a lot. I'm pointing the camera in the direction over there. I'm nodding with my head, and, you know, because obviously you can all see that, can't you? Me nodding in the direction. There you go. Sell point round there. Building next door is the carpentry. Delivery around the back, managed production around the front. It is pretty cool that in the content update number 3, the shipping containers are back for wood transport. If that was your thing, if you don't do a lot of forestry and you didn't like that in the first place, that's fine. Like I said, when I was doing the video the other day, I like those because I use them a lot in Let's Plays as just shipping containers, because you can open the doors on them, you can store stuff in them, you can transport stuff in them, you can make it look like you've had stuff delivered. I just liked that as a thing, you know. Lighting's good. Colour palette, I don't know. I don't know, it's just me today. It seems very saturated. The colours are very deep, vivid. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying. Some maps are a little bit, not washed out, but slightly more washed out. I just thought it seems very rich and vibrant. Again, that's probably just my brain. Rope makers, just here. So we're now heading down south between the two southern quadrants. East that way, west that, and you can see the sweeping terrain. There's a bit of forestry here and there if you want to do a bit of forestry. It's nice and open, no fencing in the way, that kind of thing as well. So if you don't like that, if you want to do some big machinery, big equipment work, this map will work. So that big sweep down there's like a bowl that there's stuff in. It's cool. When I first came on, my initial thought was, oh no, it's going to be a lot of what's the word? Like flat, like a billiard table sort of thing, but it's not at all. Got a nice bit to it. So these are the 3 plots that we purchased in addition to. That's the dairy. So if we go back into here, you'll see now these are the ones that are all available. Down here, and then the ones we've purchased. So biogas plant we did. So we've got dairy just here, standard. Greenhouses, we've got potato processing plant and sugar mill. Those are the ones that are these 3 in this strip down here. So there's our sugar mill. Potato processing plant just here. If we swing back around, and this is, like I said there's a couple of things, it's not my cup of tea, and like I say, I'm not a map maker, I'm not a map builder. I know when you place certain placeables on maps, it can give you the option sometimes to change the names of them and that kind of thing. This facility, it's a sell point on the map. It's listed as Grain Barge Terminal 2. There's no waterway, there's no barge. It's a tiny thing. I'm probably just being a little bit over picky, maybe, I don't know, but that's your sell point, Grain Barge Terminal 2. Maybe the facility, when it gets all loaded up onto lorries, it takes it to Grain Barge Terminal 2. Let's go with that. That's what it is. We're going to nip through the hedge here, because that's what you do. And we're going to head right out now to the southwest corner of the map, which is where the next farm is. I do like the terrain a bit bumpy, and like as you can see, between sort of rocky. Well, that might be a little bit tricky if we're going to do landscaping. Well, I don't know if it would be. Between fields, if you do decide to buy all the bits in between and then link fields up, you might not. So, I'll say the next big farm. We haven't even been to the start farm yet, so this is the first farm really we're looking at. And again, tons of space. So if you want to add more buildings in, animal pens, whatever it might be, you've got a load of room here to be playing around, which is really cool. So shed and storage space. We've got a sheep pen over here. The sheep pen will hold 108 sheep. Let's say standard crop type stuff. We've got the NL16 22 16,000 standard crop type silo, 16 million litres. Just there. More shed and storage space. Over here, fuel tank that can be refilled. Garage. Farmhouse. The farmhouse doesn't have sleep and wardrobe trigger. Now what I found was, and I'll show you, all of the farm's stuff can be sold. So he says, so if you don't want the stuff there, you don't have to have it there. We can remove all of it, apart from, I thought I could, oh there you go, I could remove that. I couldn't remove the farmhouse, and on this one I couldn't remove the fencing. On the final farm, I could remove the fencing, but again, not the farmhouse. But like I said, there's no sleep and wardrobe triggers, so if you want to add wardrobe triggers, sleep triggers, that kind of stuff, you can. But it does give you, again, scope. If you come on and think, actually, I'm not a big fan of that silo or those buildings, it can all be removed. Over here, we have got beehives and a pallet spawn point. I couldn't remove these either. I could remove the spawn point, but I couldn't remove the beehives. They seem to be kind of fixed in place. And then we've got a 3-door garage, again, can be removed if you want to. Just there. Actually, that's giving us some more money. So what we can do is come into here, and then we can go up to this segment here. We did 97, didn't we? What would I want to do? There we go. Plot 87. If we buy that, that gets us the farm up there. Let's go. Right. Next up. Sometimes, I know it sounds weird, and when I said at the start, this is a straightforward, no nonsense. I'm not implying that other maps are full of nonsense. Basically, sometimes it's nice to have a palette cleanser, you know? When you've done map tours, and it might be the map's intricate, detailed, there might be tons of productions, there might be loads of custom stuff, and when you're doing your map tour prep, there's loads of stuff you've got to work out and find and look for, and sometimes a map like this, which is straightforward, this is what I would consider a really nice beginner map for someone to come on, learn the game, play without too much over and above standard, nothing that's going to get too confusing or complicated. The map's nice and straightforward to play on, but it does have, like I say, it has all that scope because of all the land you can purchase and all the space you've been given, that once you start to get a bit more confident, think, I might have a go at landscaping, or I might have a go at, you know, getting some mods and putting some buildings in and putting some, you know, this is that sort of map. Probably stopped way too early. I could have got in front of that traffic, but I have a tendency to do that. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. Right, now this is interesting because it's done it again. Right, see, the traffic's all piled up, and this is an odd one. I'm not quite sure why, and I will show you. I think this is a situation where traffic's tried to overtake, but I found the other day, because I did my prep last night actually, Over here, look, we've got all these cones here. I'm not quite sure why these cones are over here in the grass, but what you do have is 2 cones here in the road. When I came doing my prep, there were 2 cars stopped in front of these cones, and because they had stopped there, the traffic had backed up behind. These are movable. The problem is, I don't think they're sellable, so I'm assuming when you come back on the map, they're going to be back there again. I'm not too sure. Once I moved them, the traffic moved no problem at all. I guess the problem we got here is he's gone to turn in as he's gone to turn out, and we've caused a jam. But yeah, those cones, it was a curious one. I've even written on my notes, cones, exclamation mark. Just because I thought it was something that needed to be mentioned as we were going around. So, from here, where are we? Right, okay. Taylor's shop on the right as we come in. This is kind of a, not a town per se, but a little sort of industrial area, I guess. Taylor's shop, bakery, just here. Lime station, just there. I didn't actually check to see whether you get water from that. It's not showing as a water point on the map. Just along the way over there we've got a gas station. Restaurant sale point behind that building. We can actually come back past that in a little while anyway. There's a gas station. And then we come... Where was it? Oh yeah, the big building here, the spinnery. This is really nice. This is what I think the thumbnail was of from the other side. I like this building. Wool World. Because if you go airborne now... Oh, I didn't show that bottom corner, yeah. I just like this, the way this is all built in with the little pond down the bottom, water wheel up the top here. I'm not sure how that's filling, but it is. It's doing a thing anyway. I have to say, I'm just thinking actually, seeing those there, we've got the wood shipping containers that Giants have put back in. What we need is basically auto-load versions of those from Giants. So not just wood. So you can actually load up shipping containers with any of your goods to simulate shipping them. So you load them up, they auto-load, you put them onto a trailer and off they go, and then it will sell like it does with wood. So when it sells, I know this has got nothing to do with this map tour, just something popped into my head. I thought that'd be quite cool. Actually, I didn't show you, so let's do this. That bottom quadrant I should have shown you when we were over here. So this side of the road, we came down into these sell points here. So this corner down here has got this big open area for placeables and whatever you want to do on there. Or you might want to landscape it, turn it into a mountain, or that's up to you. And some forestry down here. So there's no sell points, farms or anything down this bottom section. But I say the terrain, it's sporadic enough, and the field sizes are all different. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea either. Some people are really big fans of square and rectangular fields. I know when you get maps that have got telegraph poles and trees in fields, people don't like that either. It comes down to, I guess, what you prefer, and that comes back again to the conversation I have when people say, can you suggest a map to me? Map choice is a very personal preference. I could choose a map that I think is absolutely stunning and awesome and adds a lot of challenges, and then someone will look at that and go, I'm not touching that with a barge pole because that's got trees in the fields. You know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? This is just turned into absolute insanity. Right, anyway. Good grief. Right, up this side turning here, we've got the canning factory and the oil mill. So there's your canning factory, oil mill just here. What we're going to do, he said, right back along the road, past all the traffic. So we're going to come all the way back along here to this junction and then go north. Farmers Market is just there on the corner. We came along, went that way. We're now going back up that way. And when we went across from there, we followed the road all the way up to there. We come down into here. We've done this little bit there, and now we're heading up and doing this quadrant, the northwest quadrant of the map. I will see you over that crossroads in a moment. So turning north, Farmers Market to our left. Let's take in some of the countryside as we head up to the far north of the map. And to be fair as well, 28.21 megabytes download, which I still can't get my head around. That is absolutely crazy. The ability and scope to add so much stuff into it and onto it, just go for it, why not? So, grain mill, just here, right at the very top. We'll cut through the hedge, I don't think there's a gap there. We'll go through the hedge here, because we're heading out to the northwest to our start farm. So as we're heading out to the start farm, we can talk about slot count on the way out. Holland new farmer, it's 1,102. On farm manager and start from scratch, it's 1,019. Difference being, you don't start with any of the vehicles and machinery. All the buildings and stuff are still there. So what I did off camera was the 3 farms, southwest, northwest and northeast. I removed all of the buildings that I could, the fencing I could, all the stuff that it would allow me to remove. I got the slot count down to 889, which again gives you a lot of scope then for playing around with whatever you want to play around with. You can probably, I didn't try it, I don't see any reason why you can't. Once you've purchased factories and stuff, you should probably be able to remove those. But again, save your game first, double check, make sure, you know, because it's always the way that the one time you forget is the one time it all goes horribly wrong. So save your game first. So here we are at our start farm. We've got the large mushroom greenhouse. We've got a chicken pen building for 20 chickens. We've got a fuel tank 5,000 litre, and we've got a garage for storage of equipment and machinery. Standard base game hayloft, just there. Double garage shed, just there. Sleep and wardrobe trigger at the start farm, just there, with a small garage to the side. Lovely old shed there for more storage space, and then we move on to our equipment and machinery. Now, it's not. What's interesting with this is it's not a large selection of equipment, but we start with a lot of tractors. So I guess the implication is maybe starting off doing contracting work. We got the Gportal with loader. That's interesting. It's done that. So Puma with loader as well. We start with the quad track, and we start with the MacDon, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's a case farm, as we can see. Seeder, cultivator, harvester, and header. But that's it. We don't have any other equipment and machinery. Which I suppose, what else you need? Planter, cultivator. I mean, you might need a seeder, fertilizer, equipment, maybe machinery. I don't know. But yeah, that's what you start with. So when I got that stock count down as well, I removed all the vehicles and machinery as well, just to see. But that's the equipment and machinery you start with. And same thing here. You can remove all the buildings and stuff if you want. So that's our start farm. Now we're going to whiz across to the final quadrant of the map, and those 2 plots we purchased with the biogas plant on, which actually wasn't too expensive. I think it's a 500 kilowatt. Actually, we can double check, can't we? We can go into here and we can go to there. Yeah, 500 kilowatt. Standard productions, manure, silage, slurry, sugar beet cut with digestate as our byproduct, and the sawmill we're going to come to as well. Doesn't do prefab walls. Does those. It's the Wood Miser LT15, so it's the smaller of the sawmill facilities available. But again, if you don't want that, well, actually we can try, because we own it, can't we? I said about removing facilities. We can try and remove it, because it might be there's a different sawmill you prefer. And there's one set of sawmills that requires wood chips, so you can do wood chip production of products. There are tons. I mean, I could list all sorts of stuff. Now, again, a curiosity for me, and you know, again, it's just the way my brain works, I suppose. I'll show you in a minute. So, sawmill's just here. There you go. Let me see. Can we? Oh, we can. There we go. So we can remove the sawmill. So, as I say, if there's a different sawmill you want, absolutely go for it. What I was not necessarily surprised by. No way. Right out, sat in the middle. Just noticed that. Spoiler alert. Where is it? What is that on the ground? Yeah, so the biogas plant, which is just here, the plot of land it's sitting on, I thought, that's strange, it's kind of just sat up like that. it's not like a rock texture around it or trees or fencing or anything like that. So I thought, oh, maybe you can't do anything with that. So I did have a try. Come to soften, you can, and it was that thing on my brain. Immediately thought, that's weird. I wonder why the map maker didn't do that. Kind of maybe, but at the end of the day, the map maker's intention may have, no, I want that. That's what I want. I want that look. And that's the thing again. It comes down to 100, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people could come and play this map, and everyone will have a different view and a different opinion of what they want it to look like, or think it should look like, or think to get to what they actually, if that was me, I would do this. And again, as I've just shown, that's the beauty of this map as well. If you do that and you think, actually, you know what, I want to change that, you can. There's a lot of maps that you get where it looks like there's a lot of scope for adjustment, and then when you come to try and start doing some landscaping, nothing works how you hoped it would, or you might have a building sat somewhere and you can't actually landscape around it, or this you can. So yeah, go for it, why not? So finally, over to our northeast, to the final farm. It's the final farm of the map tour. It's just the order I did them in, no particular reason, just the route I took. Again, with this farm, no sleeping wardrobe trigger, so you can add them in if you want to. This is a rice sapling greenhouse just here. Like I said, this one I could remove the fencing, still couldn't remove the farmhouse, but I could remove all the rest of the buildings. Big old barn in the middle, nice. Storage sheds just here. This was a 10,000 litre fuel tank, I think it was, with more barn space over to the side here. Just here, this was an NL1622 6000, which is a 6 million litre. Have we had all three then? Oh, I didn't say the one at the start farm, did I? No, the start farm was an NL1622 2000, which is a 2 million. So we had a 16 million litre at the bottom corner. Top corner was a 2 million. This is a 6 million. Standard crop types, all of them. And then just over here, we've got cow, barn and pasture. And this will do 146 cows. Like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the map. That is Angela Whispering Hollow by Mrtbone39 Shantyboys. I hope you have found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks for watching.